All right. So that actually leads me to this quote by Mark Twain that I shared with you earlier. He once said, and it is not lost on me the irony that Mark Twain has this quote, being a very questionable historical figure. But he did say, travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow mindedness. Do you agree with this
Okay.
statement? Again, ignoring the fact that it was Mark Twain. Mark Twain obviously didn't travel since he was a narrow minded bigot, but that does not make his words any less true. Well, for me at least, I believe so. So, how do you feel about that
So
statement? Would you agree with that?
I definitely would say I agree. And I agree because um, I've only traveled like within the states other than like Mexico when I was little. But for people to have the opportunity to travel like further, and visit different countries and kind of immerse themselves in the culture, I think that it kind of breaks down barriers, and lets you find a different understanding of what people's culture is like. And I believe it was Buddha that said it limits the amount of anger and confusion when you have understanding. And I think when you can visit other people's culture and immerse yourself there, you'll find a different understanding for their culture and why they are the way that they are. Not that it makes that okay for bad things, but
Mhm.
you definitely gain a different understanding of different cultures. And I think that that's helpful to see people for who they are and why they are,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. But I don't know. Yeah.
So you would agree? So, is there a spot that really sticks out in your mind, like a spot you've traveled to that you feel as though, like, yeah, this really broadened my worldview?
um, so it's not like a huge story, right? It's a little story. I was traveling from Arizona to Illinois to visit family, and I had one of my friends with me. And we stopped at a gas station in Tennessee. And after the gas station, we went to a cafe. And while we were at the cafe, a woman approaches us and she's like, "Were you ladies just at the gas station?" And we're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I have been following you in my
Mm-hmm.
car because one of you left your wallet there." And we're like, "Oh
Okay.
my gosh, what?" So she shows us the wallet, and it was my friend's wallet. And I was like, wow, the people here in Tennessee are really nice. Like, who follows
Yes.
someone for their wallet?
For their
And
well,
who knew we were going to be stopping, like, shortly
anytime
down the
soon.
road?
She could have followed you
Yeah,
guys back to Chicago.
I'm sure she would have given up at some point, but
uh,
it was awesome because I'm like, oh, if she wouldn't have gotten that back, like, we were all traveling from Arizona to Illinois. We all lived in Arizona. We were going to be in Illinois for a couple of weeks. So who knows when she would have gotten her stuff back. So I'm just
hmm
like, there's still good people out there.
Definitely, yeah, exactly. That does kind of give you something to hold on to, get you to the next hurdle. You're like, okay, yeah, there is some goodness in people.
Right?
Yes.
There was a time, I have a better one though. There was
Oh
a
no, that was okay. Go
time
ahead. You silly. That one was good, but you can still share.
I was in Mexico, and in Mexico they bring the bulls down from the hills before the rodeo time. Um, so that's what they were doing. They were bringing the bulls down from the hills, and I was walking to the local market in my grandpa's like town. There was only one little store, um, and I was on my way back home, and I saw the bulls coming down, and I was like 6 years old, so I didn't understand what was happening. I just saw like a herd of animals coming towards me, and I was wearing a white t-shirt and red shorts. So one of the bulls actually started to charge towards me.
Oh yes.
And a door, this huge door. I don't know if it's because I was little or what, but I just remember this huge door opens in front of me to a house. And this woman yanks my arm in and slams the door behind me.
Oh
And
wow.
then that woman, I ended up spending time in her house every day that we were on that trip. So we were in Mexico for like a month, and I would always go over to her house every day since then because she took me home afterwards. But like before she took me home, like we talked and she gave me a snack and she told me about the
Mm,
bulls and she walked
yes.
me over to my grandpa's house. And my grandpa, he was the owner of the rodeo. Well, she was the rodeo princess. She had just won
Mm.
the pageant and stuff. So I thought it was so cool to be hanging out with the princess that I had to hang out with her every single day.
Yes,
And
that's
she saved
great.
me from being hit by a bull.
Right? Wow, that's a story. Bulls charging you at 6 years old. Oh my
Yep.
goodness.
Yeah. That was an interesting time. I'll never
Yes,
forget
that's
that.
great. Awesome. Well, so do you feel as though travel in any way contributes to your sense of happiness? Consider, like, I
uh,
know the bull story, people might not think that's a happy story, but it's considering what happened afterward, it led to a very meaningful and deep relationship with the princess. You got to meet a princess.
Yeah,
But
and that princess is actually still my friend. She
really?
still, yeah, she still lives in Mexico and she still keeps in touch with us. So,
Okay.
yeah,
So we're gonna have to take a trip down to Mexico then.
we are. Yeah, that village is really, really cool. It's
Yes.
not like your touristy type of Mexico. It's definitely something more like what you see on the movies. So it's not as dangerous as the movies make it seem, but it's definitely like dusty and dirty
I
and
feel you. So it's like
clay
Arizona.
homes. Yeah, yeah. Only thing is we have paved roads in Arizona. There they don't
Okay.
have them.
All right. All right.
But yeah, as far as happiness, I feel like travel definitely contributes to my happiness. Even when I got my license, I would just go and drive sometimes just to feel like I could breathe. Something about going to see different places is enlightening, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Helps me clear my mind in a way. And it's something about that newness that feels like the air is different. So I feel like I'm taking in a breath of fresh air somewhere else just feels so different and it's like relaxing, I guess.
I see that. So are there times, because I know we're talking about traveling to like a far place, are there times in which you like literally travel to a spot at home, like be a tourist at home as a sense of like decompressing, perhaps traveling to a new part of town or going to a place you wanted to go to or always put off?
Yeah, so there's this place in Rockford. I don't know the name of it, but one of my friends took me there once and I kept going back. It's like a little park off of Spring Creek and you have to turn really, really fast, right? Because you'll miss it if you don't. But um I guess it's a park. You turn off the road and you go through some trees and you come into like a big grassy knoll opening and there's like a brook there. And
Hmm.
I didn't know it was there. When my friend took me there the first time, I'm like, how the hell did you find this place? Like you legit had to have been on Google Maps looking for secret places to
Right.
go hang out.
Rockford has some spots like that.
Yeah, they do, but it's a beautiful like field. So there's a park sign, so I know it's a park, but
Mm.
there's no like jungle gym or anything there. It's just like, a mowed lawn, but it's surrounded by trees and you can go and sit by the water and stuff.
Oh wow. Okay.
Um, I would go there a lot to decompress. Whenever I felt like I just needed to clear my head, I would just go sit there by the river and chill, listen to music, smoke, clear my head. That was one of my favorite places to travel to. And it was kind of
Hmm.
a journey for me. So it was on Spring Creek, and my mom lives off of, God, I don't, I feel like I haven't lived there in forever, off of Charles Street.
Right. Right. You said Spring Creek. I was like, okay, I know a park. Oh no, I'm on Guilford. What street is Spring Creek? All right, it's been a minute. Oh
It
yes.
has.
But you're right.
But
From
yeah,
your mom's
even
house, it
like,
would be a pain in the butt to get over to Spring Creek.
yeah, it's like a 20, 30 minute drive over there to that little park. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
get that.
even traveling over like after you moved, it was a local travel, but it was a travel. Like I remember people would always say like you can never stay in Rockford, you're always in Chicago. And I'm like, yeah, well,
Yeah, I was. You know what? I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, "Where is Christina? Why hasn't she come visit me in a while? We used to go out all the time."
all the time. And we would locally travel all the time, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Touristed up.
Everywhere, everywhere.
Yeah.
But I never actually. What I should have started with was asking you, since this is a campaign about happiness. What is
Mm.
your idea of happiness? What do you think happiness is?
So I was talking about this with my wife right earlier. And I was like, wow, what is my idea of happiness? Like, I know what it feels like, but I guess I've never really tried to put it into words. Um, but so I thought about it today and I was kind of embarrassed because I was talking to her about it.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, okay, so give me examples, right? So I was like, like cleaning my house and like sitting down, right? That sense of like I did something, it's done and it looks good and I can breathe and I don't have to do anything else next. Or like after I send my emails at work and they're like everything's completed and I just have time to take care of myself then. So I guess the final answer is a sense of accomplishment. And I don't know why I'm embarrassed about that, but I guess I didn't want it to be that. I wanted it to be deeper. Yeah.
Something cool.
Yeah. I'm like, God, a sense
Ah,
of accomplishment. That sounds so
nah.
lame.
I get that though. I get that. And I think the embarrassment is in that it sounds old fashioned now, especially
Yeah.
in the technology age we live in. There's so much to do, but you're content just
Yeah.
getting shit done, you
Yeah.
know?
Getting things done. I'm like, wow, yeah, that's done. I can
But
do me now.
yeah, but at the same time, other people aren't doing it, aren't getting shit done because they're chasing this
Yeah.
idea of happiness. I feel that. Like when I and in fact, there's a study about that. How since all of our jobs have changed into intellectual positions, we're not
Yeah.
making things with our hands. We
Yeah.
do feel less satisfied at the end of a workday because we can't see our progress. It exists in
Yeah.
the ether. So I can understand myself personally as well. When I clean my apartment, have all my plants looking good, I can see how I spent my day. I can see the effects of me, even existing. I did this. And I'll
Yeah,
just, yeah,
exactly.
you're right. I'll just sit and stare or send you a picture and be like, look what I
Right.
did.
Right. I used to tell my boss my department's very like open as far as our job duties, or it used to be. I used to tell my boss when I got trained, they told me like, "Oh, on a day that you come in, you could do this task or this task," and they just kind of just kept throwing tasks at me. It was never like one, two, and three has to be done. So I had a conversation with my boss. I'm like, I need like a board or something or like a spreadsheet where I can see what needs to be done for the weekend and I can check it off at least. Um, because kind of just saying all these tasks can be done, like me myself, I know I'm accomplishing them, but like I like let me see it that way, as my list gets checked off, even if I'm doing them in a different order, at the end of that weekend, I can see like the entire list is checked off and I can feel that sense of accomplishment and happiness like I did something for the weekend at work.
Yes.
But I thought it was so funny. He had to create something like that for me because I'm like, that's not going to work. Telling me like you can do all of these things. I need to
Yes.
see them. I need a board. I need a gold star, please.
And if that's all it takes to get you to do your job, that's not a lot.
You know?
For real. Awesome. Well, do you feel when it comes to your connections and relationship with, family members, your wife, your son, or with friends, do you feel that what you get from travel or even the act of traveling has impacted that, has affected your connections with other people at all?
Yeah, I think so. Especially because when you travel, you connect with other people too. But as far as my personal life, with my family, we travel and we do different types of travel. So we'll camp. to where it's simple, a little bit more rough, not too rough because I can't
So you
do the
glamp.
whole, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
glamp.
Okay, okay.
um,
Hold on, hold on. This is the perfect opportunity for me to use this joke. If you catch me lying on the ground, I've been hit by a car.
seriously, something took me out.
Right?
But I'm not sleeping on it
Yeah.
unless I'm like drunk. But
Yes.
but yeah, we do like camping or more city style traveling where it's like Vegas and hotels and stuff like that. But either way it goes, it connects us more to each other because when you travel all and you're with people, that's all you know. Like that's all you really personally know. That's what's all super familiar to you. And you are both experiencing new things at the same time or learning. Or maybe you already know some of the stuff that you're seeing, so you get the opportunity to educate the people that you're with. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I feel like that builds a bond between people. Like even when I travel with my friends, I have to be pretty close to you to travel with you. And I also feel like that builds my bond stronger to my friends if I'm traveling with you because we obviously have to have like more intimate moments, I guess. Like I'm changing around you, I'm sleeping around you, I'm ugly around you. Like,
You silly.
so
Yes.
yeah, you
Uh,
definitely get a bit closer, I would
uh-huh.
say,
I
for
remember.
sure.
Yes, for sure. Do you remember our trip to Miami?
I do. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely had close moments in and out of the room. We
Oh
got close
shit!
with all the strangers around
All the
us.
strangers. There was lots of bonding, lots of closeness.
Yeah, I'll
I've
never
definitely.
forget it.
I'm not gonna forget that one. I've definitely come back changed.
Yeah.
But it did broaden my worldview. It broadened my image of myself. I walked around with a little bit more swagger when I came back to Chicago.
Yeah.
I had a little bit more confidence.
I definitely have to say I did too. Yeah.
Right, right, and I never realized, and that was because when we got there was a point of shame. I'm talking about the beach this time. When we got there was a point of shame.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed, but then after a while, I'm just like, wow, yeah, there's
Yeah. I'm
no
like, we
reason for
just
me to
have
be
to
ashamed
do
of
this
myself.
and be here with these people. They're all doing it.
And wow, it worked. My mindset changed. My mindset
Yeah.
changed. So yes.
That was an exciting time. I cannot wait to go back.
Oh yes. Now that I know what to expect, we can
Yeah.
go back to Miami. I was thinking about that time we walked into that restaurant right before they closed. And we just budged a line that went all the way down the block, dressed as everyone showed up at this little Halloween march dressed like Party City, right? And
Yeah.
we took the
We
prompt
came
seriously,
through.
right? We fucking designed our costumes,
We did. There were people taking pictures of us.
right? For real.
I was
So.
like, yes, get the good side though.
Oh man, I think that was the last time I traveled before.
The
That
big C.
the big C, the
The big
Corona.
C. Yeah.
I'm gonna get back to it this fall. I'm coming to Arizona this fall, so you better tell Caden get a sleeping bag ready because he's sleeping outside. I'm gonna take his room.
Get him a bunk bed.
Okay. We could have bunk beds.
Yeah. You'll get the phone cars, the car
Uh,
phones.
oh, you're
You
right. Now
can
that I'm an
torture him.
adult, I can give myself that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You can even get like the car bed that's like a Lamborghini.
A Lamborghini. I was
Yeah.
thinking of Lightning McQueen, but a Lamborghini is also a good one.
Lamborghini might look a little cooler. It might get you more draws in there.
More draw. Ah, that was a great pun.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Great. I think I had. Was that all of my questions that I asked you? I asked you about Miami. Miami was some fun times. We got to plan another trip. We were supposed to go to Tokyo.
We were.
We got to plan another trip. I got to get my finances in order because you see the way my bank account is set up. You see, I got my checking account and my savings account. So it's all in my savings. I just got to move it over to my checking. But the bank hours. But anyways, but once
Yeah.
we get all that sorted, we need to plan a trip somewhere. I was kind of looking forward to. What did we say? We said I was about to say Osaka when I literally just said Tokyo a second ago. I was
Yeah,
like, we
no,
said
Tokyo.
Osaka, right? But no, we said Tokyo. Osaka is definitely on my list though. But but I appreciate your time on my
Thank
podcast.
you.
This is
I
just
had
in the
fun.
recording. Oh yeah, definitely I had fun too. I hope you will agree to come back on to talk about perhaps plants, perhaps pets,
Yeah.
where's mine? All the wonderful things that contribute to our individual happiness. If we could all just give her a round of applause, please.
Woo! Thank
Oh, thank
you.
you. Yes, wonderful. Wonderful, everyone. Thanks. All right, now. Yes. All right, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Stop
All
it.
right.